Hi, everybody. My name is Bill Troutman. I am your math instructor. This is fractions part 2 for math 1314. See, I thought this was 1332. This is math 1314. There we go. For math 1314, the college algebra. So I'm going to show you how to do these problems, but then I'm going to use the calculator. So I'm going to do them both ways, manually and then with a calculator. So adding fractions when the bottoms are the same. Do you see how the bottoms are the same? So we're going to add, by the way, the steps are the same for add or subtract fractions with the same bottoms, when the bottoms are the same. Step number 1, add or subtract the tops, depending on what it tells you to do. And here it's telling us to add, so I'm going to add the tops. 9 plus 5 is 14. Step 2, don't touch my bottom. Don't touch my bottom. Leave it alone. It was 16 for both of them. My new bottom is 16. And finally, reduce it if you can. Somebody asked about reducing. Do you see how they're both even? I can see that they both can be divided by 2. So we have to reduce, and we get 7 over 8. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So the final answer is 7 over 8. Adding 2 fractions when the bottoms are the same. So we're going to do the next one. Add the tops. The bottoms are the same, so we're going to add the tops. 5 plus 1 is 6. Don't touch the bottom. The bottom we don't add. We leave the bottom alone. Don't touch it. And then try to reduce it. Both of these divide by 3. 6 and 9 both divide by 3, and I get 2/3. So let's try number 2 on the calculator. 5 over 9 plus 1 over 9, and we should get 2/3. I'm going to go to my calculator. So I'm going to hit fraction and do 5, arrow down to 9. Whoop, arrow down, fraction, 5, 9, plus another fraction, plus another fraction, 1 over 9. And when I hit enter, it should give me the answer of 2/3, just like we said. So I'm showing you actually how to do it and how to type it into the calculator. How nice. If anybody has any questions, feel free to jump right in.
I have a question.
Yes.
So with the adding and subtracting fractions, the 3 rules, do these rules only apply when
the bottom is the same? Yes.
Okay.
So there's going to be different rules if the bottom's different, if the bottoms are different. But when the bottoms are the same, these apply for adding and subtracting. Yes. And I'll give you the steps when the bottoms are different. See here, the bottoms are the same. So we add the tops. We don't touch my bottom. And we try to reduce. And this doesn't reduce. 12 and 29. 29, nothing divides into it except 1 and 29. 12 is 2, 3, so it doesn't reduce. So that's our answer. Now, next, adding and subtracting fractions when the bottoms are different, like question number 4. So there's lots of different ways of doing this. I like this cool way. I don't know what. Okay, adding slash subtracting. They could have did a subtraction so we get a solve, but do you see we add the tops on the other ones? Why didn't they give us one where we subtracted? Because it's the same rule. But anyway, adding, subtracting fractions when bottoms are different. So we're going to create two new fractions. So I'm putting two new fractions down. Step one, multiply, sorry, I'm really messy here. Sometimes my pen really messes up and won't let me write. Multiply bottoms to create new bottoms. And in other words, what do I get when I multiply these two bottoms? What's 4 times 8?
32.
32. Do you see I'm creating two new bottoms? 32. Say step one, multiply the bottoms to create two new bottoms. Maybe I should put two new bottoms. 4 times 8 is 32. All right, now I'm going to erase this. Step two is multiply, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to multiply these two for the new top. New first top. In other words, I'm multiplying these two. 1 times 8. Even though it says plus, the rule says multiply. So 1 times 8 is 8. And step 3, multiply the bottom of the first with the top of the second. And we're going to create a new top. Multiply, I'm going to change my color on this one. I'm going to multiply, I thought I was going to change my color. I'm going to multiply these two. 4 times 5 is 20. Then just add the fractions. Add or subtract fractions with the same bottoms. Do you see they have the same bottom? So we're going back to the same bottom rule. So then we're going to add and subtract the fractions with the same bottom. And if you remember those rules, it was add the tops, add or subtract the tops, and I get 28. Don't touch the bottom, 32, and then try to reduce. And both of these divide by 4. You can divide by 2 and by 2 again, but they both divide by 4, and the answer is 7/8. And you can try that on your calculator. 1/4 plus 5/8, you should get 7/8. So I'm going to try number 5 the same way. First thing we did was create two new fractions. Multiply the bottoms to create two new bottoms. So we're going to multiply the bottoms. You might need a calculator to figure out what multiplying the bottoms are. 15 times 5 is 75. That creates my two new bottoms. That was step 1. Multiply the bottoms to create two new bottoms. Then we're going to multiply the top of the first with the bottom of the second. Multiply these two. You see the shape right there? And that's my new first top. 2 times 5 is 10. And then I'm going to multiply these two. 15 times 1 is 15. Then add the fractions with the same bottoms. When we add fractions with the same bottoms, we add or subtract the tops. 10 plus 15 is 25. We don't touch the bottoms. The bottoms are 75. It stays at 75. And they both divide by 25 because 75 is 3/4 and 25 is 1/4. So they both divide by 25. And my answer is 1/3. When you put 2/15 plus 1/5 in your calculator, you should get 1/3. That's adding fractions when the bottoms are different. Adding or subtracting fractions when the bottoms are different. And I'll do a few more here in a second. Give you if you're taking notes, I'll give you a chance to catch up. Hopefully it's not too messy to where you can read it. All right, let's move on. Any questions on these so far? Okay, so let's try these. See, the bottoms are different for both of these. So we're going to use the same method, but I'm going to put these into my calculator. 3/4 plus 3/5. So let's do that. Fraction 3/4 plus fraction 3/5. I think that's what the problem was. When I hit enter, the answer is 27/20. And you can do it the long way, the way I showed you, and verify that you get the same answer. Three-fourths plus 3/5, yes. And we got 27/20. And I'm going to do this one the long way. Multiply the bottoms to create 2 new bottoms. We only do this when you're adding and subtracting fractions and the bottoms are different. We multiply the bottoms to create 2 new bottoms. 10 times 4 is 40. So we have 2 new bottoms with 40. Then we multiply the top of the first with the bottom of the second. 9 times 4 is 36. And we multiply the bottom of the first with the top of the second. 10 times 1 is 10. Then we add fractions when the bottoms are the same. We add the tops. We don't touch the bottom. And we try to reduce. I'm going to divide both by 2 because they both end in the even number. 23/20. And that's my answer. Unless they ask you, do you see? This is the answer. But sometimes on the test, that answer is not there. They might put these answers down. Let's see if we can pick the correct answer. Give me a watch this. Wait, what am I doing? Which is correct, A, B, or C? If you got this problem, but these are the only choices you have, what's the correct answer?
C. Oh, no, I mean B.
Yeah, it's B. So this is improper fraction. If you put it in your calculator, remember, hit that 10N button, and it changes fraction to mixed number. It'll change 23 over 20 to 1 and 3 over 20. So even though this is what you get on your calculator, sometimes the answer's in a different form. So you have to be able to change, whatever your answer you have to the form they want. It's improper, the answer, but they want the answer in a mixed number. So you have to know which one to go to. 23 over 20 on my calculator. I'm going to just once again just show you that one fraction. If we got 23 over 20 as an answer, but all the answers are mixed numbers, remember right above this 10x it says fraction to mixed number. It shows you. So I hit second 10x, and it's going to change the fraction to a mixed number, and I get 1 and 3/20. So that's why I really want you to get proficient in this calculator, because oftentimes the answer might be a little different. And on the homework, I think they'll let you type in a mixed number or an improper fraction. I think or even sometimes a decimal. Don't use decimals when we're doing fractions, but I think if you type in the correct decimal, I think they give you credit for it also. The homework is really, really nice. All right. Let's go to number 8. Mixed numbers. Okay. I just recommend typing this in your calculator and doing it. But let me do this one the long way, just to show you. These mixed numbers, oftentimes we take a whole week teaching people how to do this. In the past, when we had all the fundamental classes, the way I do mixed numbers is I write it. I mean, this is one way. Yeah, let's do it that way. Let me clear this up. Sorry. So change both of these to improper fractions. So if you remember how to change them to improper fractions, you multiply these two. 3 times 3 is 9, and then add it to the top, and I get 10. And leave the bottom alone. Multiply these two, the whole number and the bottom, and I get 8. Add it to the top, and I get 9 over 8. So I change the mixed numbers to improper fractions. And now I'm adding fractions with 2 different bottoms, and we go through the same process that we just did. Multiply the bottoms. 3 times 4 is 24. We have 2 new bottoms. Then multiply these two. 10 times 8 is 80. Multiply these two. 3 times 9 is 27. Since the bottoms are the same, we add the tops, and we don't touch the bottom. So that's an answer. And you can try to reduce that. I don't think it reduces. You can try it on your calculator also. I don't think it reduces. If we needed to change this to a mixed number manually, remember how to do that. 107 divided by 24, top divided by the bottom. 24 goes into here 4 times. 16, 24 times 4 is 96. And I get 1, and 10 minus 9 is 1. So the answer, this answer, is the whole number, top of the fraction, bottom of the fraction. So on your calculator, type those in, and you should get 4 and 11 over 24. So the whole purpose of this class and using this calculator, by the way, is to make sure we get to the algebra part. So we can't spend a lot of time learning how to do fractions. That's why we usually most teachers allow you to use the calculator, because we have to get to the algebra part. We're not even at algebra, right? We have to get to do this stuff, and then the algebra part is where what we really want to learn, because this is an algebra course. This is the fundamental. This is the co-requisite part of the course. All right. So, can somebody tell me how I do number 9? What's the first thing you notice about number 9?
Same denominator.
Yes, the bottom. Oh, he used the word, the fancy word, denominator. The bottoms are the same. Remember, adding and subtracting fractions when the bottoms are the same. With the steps that we had here, and that's the first thing I know. Bottoms are the same. So I'm going to go to the add and subtract steps when the bottoms are the same. The steps were add or subtract the tops. 8 minus 4 is 4. Step 2 was don't touch my bottom. Try to reduce it if you can. We're done. It doesn't reduce, we're done. So when the bottoms are the same, don't forget, you add or subtract the tops, you don't touch the bottom, and then you try to reduce it. So, you need to spot those things. Are the bottoms the same or are the bottoms different? Here, the bottoms are the same. Add or subtract the tops. 8 minus 5 is 3. Don't touch my bottom. Try to reduce it if we can. We are done. And you can put this in your calculator and you'll see we get the same answer. Question 11. The bottoms are not the same. The bottoms are different. Remember what I said to do when the bottoms are different. You're going to write 2 new fractions. You're multiplying the bottoms to create 2 new bottoms. 7 times 5 is 35. Then we're going to multiply these 2 for our first top. 6 times 5 is 30. Then we're going to multiply these 2. 7 times 2 is 14. Now the bottoms are the same. And let me write that in there. Now our bottoms are the same. So we add or subtract the tops. 30 minus 14 is 16. We don't touch the bottom. Anytime the bottoms are the same, we don't touch the bottom. And we try to reduce. 16 divides by 2 and 4 and 8. 35 does not divide by any of those. So we're done. If you put this into your calculator, you should get the same answer as me, 16 over 35. 6 over 7 minus 2 over 5. You should get 16 over 35. It's really important to have good notes to where you're understanding. I can't stress that enough. And it's really important to be able to use that calculator. this during the Christmas break or something. I should have went around to all the stores and bought all the calculators.
That's probably what happened to them all.
Somebody sell them for a premium.
I mean, they're there. It's just taking a while to ship, you know? I mean,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
sons might come earlier. That's why it shows Amazon.
Which is weird. Amazon has that 1-day shipping and stuff. That's yeah.
Walmart's the same thing. It was about the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Weird. That's fine, Lucy. All right. So number 12, the bottoms are different. Let's just put that in our calculator. Make sure you take roll, Lucy. So I'm going to put that in my calculator. 4/5 minus fraction 7/12. And when I type that in, I get 13/60. Number 13, I'm going to do the long way. I like to do them both ways, using the calculator and doing it the real way. The bottoms are different. So, I mean, that's what you have to realize. Bottoms are different. So I go to my steps where the bottoms are different. The steps for the bottoms are different was write 2 new fractions. Multiply the bottoms. 9 times 6 is 54. So we have 2 new fractions with this new bottom. Then multiply these two together. 7 times 6 is 42. Then multiply these two together. 9 times 1 is 9. It says to subtract them. So 40, just subtract the tops. 42 minus 9 is 33. Do not touch the bottom. When the bottoms are the same, you don't touch them. And these both divide by 3, if I'm not mistaken. I get 11 here. 54 divided by 3 is 18. There we go. So when you put 7/9 minus 1/6, you should get 11/8. If you wanted to change it to a mixed number, you would get 1 and 3/8. This is the improper answer. This is the mixed number answer. Don't forget 11/8. 8 goes in 11 one times. So the answer is 1. This is the top. And this is the bottom. Okay. Not too bad. Would be really nice to issue out the calculators. How would you do this next one? Anybody have any ideas on this one? 'Cause I don't see a bottom there, so I can't say, are the bottoms the same or are the bottoms different?
Don't we have to convert that into a fraction, that 11?
Yes, it's 11/1. Now the bottoms are different and we go to subtracting fractions with different bottoms. Yes. So, and remember, when we have different bottoms, we always create 2 new fractions, multiply the bottoms. 1 times 8 is 8. Then multiply these two. 11 times 8 is 88. Multiply these two. 1 times 3 is 3. And subtract. 88 minus 3 is 85. Don't change the bottom. 85. There we go. And don't change the bottom. This is the answer. You can change it to a mixed number if you want. So even though it didn't have a fraction there, 11 can be changed to a fraction. So we changed the 11 to 11 over 1, and then subtracted these as though the bottoms are different. Wait a minute. That's not right. Oh, this is 88. I wrote it looked like an 81, but it was 88. There we go. Now it's right. And you guys can always verify these on the calculator. And there's two more. Let's just do this last one using our calculator. Once again, oh, how did I do these mixed number ones? To get anybody, I did one of these already. How do I do those? Does anybody remember how we did these? How we did this one?
You're gonna multiply the 3 and the 4, and then you're gonna add the 2. And then
Yes.
you're gonna leave the bottom number the same, which is gonna be 3. So it's gonna be 14 over 3, and then the next one will be 24 over 7.
Now we add or subtract fractions with different bottoms, and we go through those steps. Yes. So I think that's the easiest way to do it. If you're going to do it the manual way, this way, and not use the calculator, I think that's the easiest way to do it. Change them to improper fractions the way we did it, and then go through the steps for adding fractions, adding and subtracting fractions with different bottoms. So let's just put this in our calculator really quick and see what we get. Just for a little practice there. Mixed number 4 and 2 over 3. Subtract another mixed number 3 and 3 over 7. And I get 26 over 21. And if you're using your calculator, change it to a mixed number and you get 1 and 5 over 21. This is the improper answer. This is the mixed number answer. Remember, mixed number, you go to the 10n, second 10n, and it changes it to a mixed number. All righty. Let's give me a second here. I think that's the last one, right? Yeah. That's the last one of this section. I'm going to hit stop record.